So it's time to show you what I have been cooking up for PvP as a scout and infiltrator actually, Fury, and basically all the three classes. But before showing you that, some things I want to say. First, I will not make this quest log public. I said that a few times already, but I made a decision that from now on, every time I want to share something regarding to the build, it's going to be in video format. Because in video, I can explain why I'm doing this or that. A quest log is just a data dump that you copy and you don't really understand what's the logic or the reasoning behind that build. So that's why I prefer to do it in video. Secondly, as you know, I don't care about min-maxing. As an everyday player, I prefer to keep things versatile, just to use in one scenario and then on the other. That's why my builds are not perfectly min-maxed, they are not using beast items or whatever. In fact, they use items that I have, even though they are better alternative in the market. Another thing are chaos runes. I use chaos runes in the game, but in my quest log, I don't do use them. Why? Because chaos runes and same are artifacts are just random. So I may have a range critical hit chance chaos rune for weapon and you know, for example. So that's why I prefer to keep the quest log with just regular runes. And for the artifacts, the same. For the artifacts, I don't pick the perfect stats. For artifacts, I just pick a main stat and that's it. So having said that, this is my build in game right now. And this is my quest log. Okay? I have come up with two different builds that can be used between three classes. So the first one is this, using the Brute Slayer set. Okay, as you can expect, the Brute Slayer set 4 pieces is for bonus damage. So you can expect that this build is going to be focused into bonus damage. These shoes actually give bonus damage. This bracelet give bonus damage. This ring give bonus damage. Everything is that where I can get bonus damage, I'm getting it. What are two potential upgrades to this build? Instead of this ring, we could use this one. But this one is 3000 PvP coins. And most likely, you are not using your PvP coins for this right now. You are using them for the chest because you want to get all the other items that you need. So it's going to take a while to use this ring. That's why it's not here in this build. And also the ring. Ideally, you want to use the heroic because you can then pick this back bonus damage trade, which is going to be very useful. The good thing about this build is that, okay, now I'm playing as a scout. Notice that if you want to focus into bonus damage, it's better to use the heroic crossbow instead of the heroic bow, because the heroic crossbow gives you 36 bonus damage. Okay? And secondly, the other good thing about this build is, okay, I'm a scout right now, but look at this. I can just do this, use the Lucian one, and I'm Fury. I'm a perfectly capable Fury right now for PvP. That's why if you focus into bonus damage, you can basically have this build and alternate between Fury and Scout. However, when I decided to stop playing Fury, I said that I will not focus into bonus damage again because I have been playing with bonus damage as my main stat for so long. I decided to try something different. And now, as I show you here, I'm going for the Blood Hunter set. And this is the build I'm going to use. And I really love this build because it's so flexible. I can do whatever I want with these three stats: hit, critical, and heavy. I want less hit and more crit. Okay, I just need to swap runes, I just need to swap artifacts, and that's it. Suddenly I have less hit, more crit. For me, that's perfect. If I wanted to have less heavy and more either of the two, I will need to actually replace the heroic effect on the bow. I will need to use either hit or critical. But I don't want to do that. Why? Yes, this could be actually good. Boosting more hit in exchange of some heavy. Still 900 heavy is good in my opinion. But I don't want to do this because for PvE, hit is useless. So I prefer to keep it this way. The cape is using critical, heavy, and hit. And the artifacts are using, depending on the scenario, as I was saying, if I want more hit, it will have two pieces of the abyssal, and I will pick as main stat range hit and range hit over here. If I wanted more crit, I will pick 6 pieces of Chaos Harbinger and as main stat range critical and range critical. For this scenario, I didn't show it, but we want to boost bonus damage, so 4 pieces of Deathless One, and then we want to have more hit, so Abyssal. And as main stat, obviously, bonus damage, and here bonus damage as the main stat here, and here, for example, we can pick hit. Another good thing about this build right here is that it's so flexible in terms of defenses. For example, right now I'm using the strength synergy, so I have critical damage resistance, which actually I get 26.4. So basically I'm almost neglecting all my critical damage. But let's say, okay, I want to focus into hitting tanks. Okay, I could just come here, swap the synergy, and just redo the points. Okay, now the extra 8 points go to strength. Let me switch this because this is what was wrong. And that's it. I want actually to have more penetration chance. Okay, I want more penetration chance here. Okay, so now I have, I don't know, a lot. Let me check. I have 42 shield block penetration chance, for example. It's so flexible that just switching runes artifacts on in some cases synergies, you just can get a lot of different builds. Also, let me refresh to, if I wanted to play a scout infiltrator, I could, infiltrator with bonus damage is useless, but infiltrator here is just this. Okay, goodbye crossbow, welcome dagger. The same, nothing changed because the stats are the same. Look at this. The stats are basically the same. With the daggers I have more hit, with the crossbow I have more attack speed, but dexterity and wisdom are exactly the same. Even cooldown speed is the same. So basically, this is so interchangeable with infiltrator. I may start a fight as a scout and after 3 deaths switch to infiltrator, for example. That's why I love this build, and this is what I'm working towards in game. Still, I'm missing some stuff because the crossbow is going to be the last thing for me to upgrade because Ackman is just good. I prefer to first maximize the earrings. Get the necklace. I actually have it, but I don't have enough stones to upgrade it. I don't have the bracelet yet, but it's somewhat easy to get. And I don't have the Blood Hunter helm. This is the most expensive item I need. Um, well, let's see if I have luck with the chest or with Manticus. So this is my PvP build. And you may be wondering, okay, where are your defenses? Are you just going to be glass cannon? Where is your evasion? Where is your endurance? For me, my defense right now comes from either using critical damage resistance, max health, and CC resistance, either stun or bind, collision, silence, whatever. Most likely bind. Okay? And why not evasion? Because evasion is kind of dead for me. With the Blood Hunter set, or with the Brute Slayer set, you cannot build evasion. You cannot have enough evasion. You can boost one of them, either magic or range evasion. You can make it like 2.5, 2.6. And that's a good number. But the other one is going to be like 1.7, 1.5 maybe. Something like that. And that's not worth it, in my opinion. If you want to use the flash fire set, this set is odd. Because if you go for the 4 pieces, this extra 600 evasion is really for a limited amount of time. Just 1 second, that's nothing. And it has a cooldown of 10 seconds. If the duration was longer or the cooldown didn't exist, or the cooldown was actually like 3 seconds or 5 seconds, it may be usable. But right now, as it is, for me, it's not worth it. Because when you go down this road and you use the 4 pieces, you miss a lot of hit, critical, and heavy. So that's a no-go for me. If you try to mix 2 pieces with something else, you get to the situation in which if you use 2 pieces of flash fire and 2 pieces of Blood Hunter, you are not getting the critical damage boost. So that's very bad. If you use 2 pieces flash fire and 2 pieces Brute Slayer, you are not getting the bonus damage boost. So that's actually bad. With the tier 1, the tier 2 sets, we have the difference of that the light set, you could have the 4 pieces and get bonus damage, but on 2 pieces you also had a lot of evasion. So it's like if the Brute Slayer here were using bonus and an evasion, which is not the case. So in my opinion, the only way to make evasion viable right now is if you invest in heroic traits. If you have evasion in every heroic where you can, evasion here for example, and evasion in the ring, and then you have evasion in the heroic traits. Because that's how you can get to base 2.8 evasion, 2.7, something like that. And that's actually good. Because another thing you can try as well is mix the flash fire set with valiant items. But if you do this, yes, you get to like 2.6, 2.7 range and make evasion. But you miss hit, crit, and heavy. So you don't really want to do that as well. So that's why, in my opinion, I prefer to forget about evasion for now. Let me see how is this working. For now, I have had a couple of fights as this, and It was very good. Actually, I have to admit it was very good. I didn't feel the need of the evasion, but let's see how things progress. But for now, I prefer to keep my defense as just critical damage resistance, CC resistance, and max health. It will be the best for me in this scenario. So, thanks for watching. These are my builds. For the areas, really don't care that much. Just you don't care about the evasion, as I was saying. Just pick two stats and some heavy attack evasion because you will most likely have some benefit from that heavy attack evasion, and that's it. Just adapt to what you have. For example, another potential idea here was Venelux, but it's not really needed. Just the teardrops of Fortunate Omens are good. So this is it. Thanks for watching this video. See you in game. Bye.